Welcome to Fouts Boxing Theory, and in this video we're going to be breaking down David Morrell's style. We're going to be going over all of his strategies, all the things that he's good at, bad at. We're going to be talking a little bit about that in conjunction with David Benavidez, a huge fight for the division. I argue this fight is as important for the division as Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk was. This is going to be really setting the tone for who the most dominant fighter really is, and really telling us, we learned a lot about Tyson Fury and his work ethic, and he turns out he's not the guy that he thought he was. But we're gonna see if Benavidez or Morell are, but we're gonna see also, kind of their strategy and stuff. So the first thing I want to pay attention to is as David Morell is coming forward, look at him take this big step here like this. This is already his first move. He's already told his opponent that he's going to do something. Notice he made it to this position without getting punched, but as soon as this punch starts coming at him, his opponent is already moving off the line. Okay? He's already exploded. He's already snapped onto his opponent's line. Boom! Notice there was no jab there. It could have been a stepping jab. It could have been a hook. It could have been, but it was not. But this is how he gets lead foot dominance, that he can get into range to throw this punch. Now notice, his opponent's kind of like getting hit, but also like kind of snapping away, right? Kind of rushing away from him. And again, David Morrell is going to use this move. This is one of the only ways that he can get on the line. Coil, and then he moves into this shot, kind of telegraphing his shot, right? Taking a step, okay? Now, he's going to do that again here, and I do want to point out he got smacked right there. He's going to do the same thing. Well, feint, and then he comes in with the block and then a counter to the body here. Kind of a cool little trap thing that he's doing there. But very dangerous to just explode onto the line and then race his opponent's counter in that space. Let me move this over here, guys. Whoops. That's not the right clip. Don't worry about that, guys. There you go. Caught up. All right. Now, one of the things that he's very good at, stepping hook right here. Okay, this is one of the most dangerous things that David Morrell does. It's, man, and look at the effort. Look at the animal in there. Very impressive strike, very powerful. I want to point out he gets him. Look at him. He does such a good job, but don't pay attention to the damage that he does to Agbeko here. Let's pay attention to what David Morrell does after. Okay, so he just jumped onto the line. He snapped onto his opponent's line with a leaping three. Okay, and now he's going to kind of fall off the line here. You see how he didn't really choose a position. He didn't really do a move. He just kind of fell, right? He just kind of like went back to his position, right? It's very dangerous, right? Because post-punch defense is actually one of those things that is going to be one of Morell's biggest problems in this fight. Okay, now stepping forward with a 1-1-2 here, landing a good shot, pretty good shot, right? One, stepping with the one, penduluming, right? Kind of rolling onto the front foot, a slower version of the one that he did earlier because he's disguising it with the jab here. And then boom. Once he gets to the front foot, a lot of times David Morrell is getting caught in this position here. His post-punch defense, not that good, okay? And it's very important. This is the highlight of the Agbeko fight, right? But he's getting kind of smacked here, okay? Now, combination here, very David Benavidez-like, right? Being able to throw multiple punches. But, Agbeko, not David Benavidez. David Benavidez, not the biggest one-punch knockout artist, right? Now, David Morrell getting onto the line. Does he have any counters? He just kind of lets his opponents rip some punches right here. Not the greatest, right? Breaks into his move, right? Again, he's going to take that step. It's going to be a slow step, not a racing step here. Kind of rolls into this position on the front foot, throws a body shot, didn't move his head for multiple beats here, throws an uppercut. Pretty cool. So many attacks on that side of the line where he didn't move his head. And again, that's very similar to just not having post-punch defense, right? It is important that he's kind of an animal and he's throwing these combinations, right? Now, this move right here, this is one of the things that David Morrell is very good at here, is when a punch comes at him, see it touches his glove here, boom, counters with that shot. Now, a few things very important, okay? His ability to connect this beat here, boom, very high level. However, he's getting touched here, and off of his counter, we can see that he's lunging forward with a stepping jab. Okay, we're going to talk about how that affects the fight and how that plays is going to play a huge part in the overall end of the fight. Now, again, stepping in with that big step. Notice he's not covering the line with anything. When he throws this punch, he's going to be bow and arrowing his lead hand, ripping his weight. Wah! But he's completely open on the right side of his face. Right? He didn't control his opponent on that beat. His opponent was just like, oh, is something going to happen? But there's so many opportunities here. Here's boom. And now if Beko just whips into a right hand or a left hand, he's going to be able to catch David Morell crossing the line. Okay, a few problems with this. Number one, David Morell almost always initiates from this side of the line, whether he's throwing a jab, a hook, or this right hand. They all come from a very similar position, and it means it's going to be not that difficult to time him as he's getting onto the line. Okay, so that a little bit combined with the fact that, again, so look at where his head is in the line. Okay, he's on the in the Fouts boxing theory, we talk about not front foot and back foot positions, but we talk about what side of the line you're on. And right now, David Morell is on the left side of the line, right? He's on the inside of his line. Okay, and he's not going to be making it to the outside of the line, right? He's fighting for more of a bladed stance, right, from the left side of the line here, and most of his attacks are going to come, and he has to cross over to this side of the line very obviously in order to get some shots off. Whipping the hook, boom, now penduluming. I want to point out, look at how close he is here. Is there a reason why he has to be leaping and jumping with this punch? Now, leaping and jumping with the punches like this is one of the things that I teach, basic striking. It's a drill, 2-foot punching. If you guys are interested in learning all the secrets of punching power to become a better striker than David Morell, better than Ryan Garcia, better than Tank Davis, you want to learn exactly what they're doing, but you want to learn how to do it better. You want to get better. Check out the link in the description on the first coach in history to be able to figure out all of punching power, figure out how to teach it to anybody, man or woman. It's all about body mechanics and dedication and the correct drills and very specific things to increase your power, but also to teach you to throw your best punch first, right? And then increase your power after that. But anyway, he's stepping with this shot for some reason, getting very close to his opponent for no reason. Now, again, post-punch defense, we see him. And again, I want to talk about, look at all the effort that he's putting in there, right? Look at how hard he's throwing these shots. Look at how much he winds up. All of this is going to be playing a very important part in the fight when we talk about it. Now, again, makes it to the front foot position, getting to the front foot on the right side of the line, right? And, throwing the shot, not moving his head, right? He's a very big fan of the body shot here. And again, I think this punch is going to get him into trouble. Now, leaping shot into it too. Not only did we see him smack at Beko with the stepping hook, boom, and smash him, but now he's throwing it with a 3-2. This is one of these all-time great skills that David Morell does have. Now, the other all-time great skill that David Morell has is he's just a solid puncher. Being on the line with him, and if you trade 1-for-1, the likelihood that you're ahead when you trade 1-for-1 against David Morell is very low on average, okay? I think that he has more punching power than David Benavidez. However, David Benavidez has such quick hands that the difference in power may not even matter because David Benavidez may be able to catch him, right? One of those things and now again, when he pendulumed right here through that hook, what side of the line was he on when he started it? Didn't move his head after, boom, gets countered, right? Oh, here's in the front, boom, throws this shot, open here, didn't really move his head, 3-2. Very quick 3-2. Big fan, right? A lot of combinations, a lot of effort. Now, does anything aside from the initial punch from David Morell here seem very quick? Now, I don't think so. I think that he fights at a very similar pace real quick. The jab comes. Look at where his right hand is when he pulls and he slips to the front, to the back foot or to the deeper on the left side of the line. He does not bring his right hand with him. So if this was a 2-3, right, which David Benavidez likes to throw a lot, he may be able to connect on him with the 3, right? Now, again, I also think that on average, if we take a look at this angle, see how is he breaking in here? A hook, just like that one, is going to be one of those very good moves against Morell, okay? Again, because of the fact that he always attacks from the same side of the line, same head position, same. Now, getting back to a little bit, there's a hook right here that his opponent is catching him. Again, he's on the left side of the line here. The jab comes. He tries to roll into the front foot. Boom, and he's getting smacked by a hook right here. Kind of knocks him a little bit off balance. Okay, again, very important. Now, chasing him, right? Counter, counter. Again, when we get to talking about some of the other important things in this fight, look at all the effort. Look at all the, right, blasting into the line, right? It's very important because David Morell throws almost all of his shots with almost maximum effort. Okay, post punch defense, very poor. Again, getting caught here for no reason, rolling to the front foot. A combination would just continue to get him. Okay, but because he throws everything with such maximum effort, I feel like he's going to have a very difficult time fighting David Benavidez for 12 rounds. Okay, so the question will be stepping hook, right? Same side of the line. Again, the same kind of counters will be effective. Again, 3-2, pretty good move. Leaping shot against mostly stepping with all these shots, no matter how close he is, right? Stepping again with that one. Didn't exactly step. His front foot's still coming up off the ground. We're not going to penalize him that. I want to point out, though, he lands that hook. This is very, very, very good here. Boom. Rips off the line here. Okay, so we know that he has the ability to have post-punch defense, but on average doesn't have a lot of post-punch defense when he's throwing a right hook to the body or a left hand to the body or to the head. Okay, but looks like he has a little bit of post-punch defense with his left hook to the head or his right hook to the head. And again, very aware, very quick, very sharp beat here. However, he just walks right into another shot when he does come up. Okay, so the fact that he coils right there and he doesn't punch show that he doesn't really have that drill or that ability kind of ingrained in him. Okay, now ability, I want to say, yeah, he can do it, right? He has the ability, but it's not one of those common patterns because that was a perfect time for him to just blast up and throw a straight left hand, right? Now, again, just talking about the post punch defense and then just blasting into this next combination here. Whoops, don't pay attention to that. I was doing some film study for another guy, showing him some clips. Now, David Morell, right, gets onto the line, boom, 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 just ripping these shots, right, throwing these haymakers, getting touched up a little bit, right? Again, maximum effort, maximum effort. How many of these punches is he landing with maximum effort? That was quite a few waffled shots. A little bit of a slapping hook here. Did he step with this shot even though he's so close? Leaping shot that close. Okay, again, controlling. What side of the line is he going to be starting this engagement from? He gave his opponent a beat here, and he's going to come. Oh, he didn't come. Now, what? Again, look at this Philly shell here. Okay, David Benavidez has an insane left hook. It's so fast. Wow, so fast. And if he's going to be in this position again, coming up, no guard from the right side, making it to his position to start snapping onto him with this uppercut, I think he's going to be in a lot of danger. Now, again, look at the effort. All of that sequence right there was very, very high level of effort from Morell. Stepping hook again. No, he didn't actually step with that one. Stepping jab. Again, what side of the line is he on? Stepping jab again. Why is he so close using a stepping jab here? Right? Again, lunging into the shot. Okay, now maximum effort. How effective is he being? He's using so much effort with all these stepping punches so close. Beautiful 3-2. Again, I do think stepping jab again, or a stepping hook, right? Look at how close he was. Why does he have to leap here? Now, again, he throws this shot if he gets caught landing, right? Which is something that David Benavidez definitely can do because his hands are so fast. Boom, lands this shot, 3-2. A lot of energy to leap with that shot. Throw the follow-up shot. Post-punch defense. He just kind of falls back into a shot. Okay, now, we very, 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 very clearly see him doing his best work here, hitting this guy, leaping 3-2. Bah, bah. We've seen him beating this guy up all around so far, but he's had so many wasted punches. Right? He's used so much energy on things that didn't really land clean, that were slapping with the inside of the glove, that were blah, 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 blah. We do know that he has punching power, but toward the end of the round, it does feel a little bit like Morell starts slowing down. Okay, now again, throwing those shots, no post-punch defense, staying on the same side of the line, crossing the line, where's his guard here? Boom, 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 counter. Now, I do want to point out, he did get his guard up there. Right? But he went to throw a combination. This is one of those things, if you pay attention to the rhythm, boom. And then he's slow on the line. He's not really doing one of the best examples for modern day is Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson has a really good, if you go all-time great skills, number one, his jab, pretty good, fast stepping jab, pop, right? But he's got a very good 2-3, right? And that's one of those things that he does pretty well, sewing those two beats together. And David Morell, he's always throwing so much effort, so much weight, so much, because he has good power, right? He gets rewarded for it. He throws that shot, and then he allows his opponent to get into position to counter him and catch him here. Again, this is one of those things that's just very common for him. Not only is it on the same timing as him just flat out not having any post-punch defense, but he's just slow, right? So it's another one of those things where it's just going to compile, where if he gets onto the line with David Benavidez and David Benavidez is being sharp with his counters, which who knows if he will be. He may be shook a little bit from how hard-ish Morell punches. Now, we don't really know how hard exactly he punches, pulling, not bringing his guard with him, coming straight up, moving his head straight back like this. Again, poor post-punch defense, and just allowing his opponent to get out of the corner. Don't pay attention to that. It's not for you guys. That's not for you guys either. Now, rolling onto the line again. Now, this one's different, right? Because he's probing, control, gets the counter thing, right, off that lead or off that beat, and then coming here, boom, boom, boom. Good combination, right? Excellent, excellent work, and then getting countered, right? Now, again, David Benavidez is a much better counterpuncher than this gentleman is, okay? So that's going to be very important. Pivoting on the front foot, all-time great flaw, okay? Breaking into the stepping jab. The reason this is important because all this stuff that we've been taking a look at right now is him beating the crap out of some guy at the beginning of the round, right? Agbeko didn't make it out of the second round. He got stopped, and this guy winds up making it about to the fourth, but David Morell has to poor post-punch defense, pivoting on the front foot. Again, we don't think that that's going to work against someone as big as him or with the hand speed of David Benavidez. But once he runs out of a little bit of his stamina, he can't just sit on the line and blast you and throw his haymakers. He's got to rest a little bit. So what does he do when he's resting? Well, we're going to take a look at him pivoting on the front foot with his boxing, right? Jab, counter, right? Again, pretty quick with that move, right? The thing he touches his glove, breaks into a stepping jab counter, right? Now, again, it's a stepping jab counter. So he's going to be closing the distance on a counter punch while you just controlled him with the jab. What if you threw a 1-2 and he's stepping jabs into a 1-2? What if you went 2 and then he's stepping jabs and he throw a left hook? Now, again, he's stepping with this punch, so it's going to make it very, very dangerous. I believe this is exactly what got Terrence Crawford dropped by Kavaliauskas, right? Is having a similar type of reaction. Okay. Now, again, that is one of his all-time best skills, right? David Morell is being able to counter off that stuff. It's one of the things that he does best, but it may get him in trouble because of the fact that he does it with the stepping punch. Okay. Now we got a kind of a long clip here. Very important. He's going to go back, pulling straight back, leans to the front foot, makes it to this position. That was his first snap onto the line. Now, when he throws this punch, if his opponent had just committed to a 2-3, 2-2, 2-2, he would knock him out right now, right? He didn't move his head for that beat, right? Or even just a straight punch, or even just a one hook, right? But he moves into this position and then punches from this position without moving his head on that beat. And it makes him vulnerable, right? Now, again, how many beats has his weight been on the front foot right there? Breaking into this shot here with a 1-2. Again, look at all the ways that he approaches the line, right? Once he's on the line, maybe terrifying, right? So many punches countered in the front foot. Right? Again, getting smacked right there for no reason, right? Other than he's not moving his head very much. Pull, decent move, boom, right? No punch defense. Okay? A little bit of work right there, a little bit of cool stuff right there. But again, look at how slow he is with his post-punch defense. Look at how slow he is with all those other things. This guy is outboxing him right now on the ropes. And he's, I want to call him a bum right now. Gets a good hook right here. Good shot, rolls to the front foot, getting some good work right here. Right? Didn't move his head, falls a little bit off balance. And again, countered right there. No post-punch defense. But there's no sneaky stuff here about him getting on the line, right? We have to remember when he's on the line with this guy right now, he's on the line with an opponent. Right? He's on the line with a guy he's supposed to be. Okay? Now again, what side of the line is he going to be entering from? kind of decent head movement here, right? Hands down, though, very dangerous, right? Stepping jab while he's in front of him, rolls to the front foot, crosses the line, doesn't bring his hands with him. What if he gets countered in this position? Whack, counter to the body, boom, boom, right? Didn't take very much to disrupt him here, didn't take very much to get control of him here, and David Benavidez is way better on the inside than that gentleman, right? Now, getting on the line, jab, trying to get some points, right? Boom, walks right into a shot. Again, doesn't bring his hands with him. Throws a body shot, didn't move his head, gets counter to the head, counter with a combination, right? Now, when we talk about glove placement, when we talk about hand positioning, look at where his hand is when that counter comes, that left hook from him. Now, David Benavidez has an insane hook. His hook is so fast. If David Morell is going to be throwing big, huge, lungy punches at a guy, right? David Benavidez is the guy that's going to be able to make him pay with combinations like this, right? Is this even particularly fast from this gentleman here? Bop, bop, right? But David Morell is out of position long enough because he's not a very good, I'm going to call it here, boxer. Now, again, take a look at this stepping hook right here on the inside. Did we take a look at how particular he is? Boom. And look at the glove, okay? Now, his opponent's block, not that good. But it's enough because David Morell is slapping with this punch. All right, this is very, very, very important because now if we're thinking about what kind of punches it is that David Benavidez is going to be weak against, it's not going to be a straight punch, right? It's going to be a hook, right? David Benavidez doesn't move his head all that much when he's punching either. So the hooks are going to be more dangerous because David Benavidez keeps his hands in front of him, very similar to David Morell, right? This is also going to be a product of the fact that he spent so much time sparring with who? Who do we know he has like 200 rounds with? Dmitry Bivol, the straight punch king, right? Who has terrible hooks, right? So the hook is going to be the dangerous punch. And it's, if we're going 2-3-2-3-2, that's literally half of his punches, right? David Morell, right? Leaping hook into 2, right? Or 2-3. But if he's slapping with it, and we know that he's not going to be landing hard, he's going to be giving David Benavidez a lot of time to be in the ring with him, to be moving around and boxing him, right? His ability to win the fight early and prevent it from getting to post-punch defense, again, all that effort, that hard punches, right? It means that the likelihood that he winds up allowing David Benavidez to see the end of the fight is very high, right? That he's not going to probably be knocking him out. Stepping punch, pendulum stepping, right? A lot of effort for those punches, not a lot of value with the jab. Who throws jabs in the open stance, right? Usually it's a hook, right? But he uses a lot of effort to throw those stepping punches. But all that effort, stepping, again, very awkward, coming forward, right? And getting on the line. Okay, again, a lot of his punches, they mean that he's going to be coming from the same angle. He's going to be approaching from his same head position. Okay? And again, against someone like David Benavidez, who's going to have a decent time, I think, countering him because of the superior speed. And I want to say superior speed in relation to his other opponents. Breaking into this position, again, as he walks onto the line, he's already on the line with the guy. He's in position where he could throw a hook, or he could throw a stepping jab or a stepping hook, right? He could just throw a straight left hand as well, right? But he has to break into it, and he tells his opponent it's coming on that beat, right? Decent boxing, right? Rolling to the front foot, throws this punch. Now, again, that's like his kryptonite, right? He stays in that position, and I think he's very vulnerable once he gets there. No post-punch defense. Is that his plan? Is this his plan, is to break into this guy's line with the very obvious punch here, right? Got him, maybe. Gets his block up, I want to point out. Very, very astute, right? Making some adjustments, breaking out with the hook. No head movement here, right? But is he going to get to this position and then all of a sudden just, take a real quick look at this, by the way. Take a look at his heel up, right? Look at this structure here. Terrible, terrible structure. Very, 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 very bad. But once he gets to this position, even if he landed all those punches before, does he just allow somebody like David Benavidez to unload punches from this position? Right? He gets hit around the guard again. Very, very, very poor blocking, right? Again, David Morell here, not a head movement expert, right? We see him playing with a little head movement on the inside, right? Crossing the line, cool stuff, right? Not getting a lot of value, not probing while he does it. Strategically poor, or strategically high level, but technically very poor. But we can see his guard and his block when he's crossing the line. He doesn't understand how to block punches correctly, eats a shot right around the guard. Again, if he's slapping with his punches, it means he's not landing the greatest shots, right? And that means that David Benavidez is going to be able to take more of those shots, blasting into this shot again. Again, not very creative, down, right? Taking the step here, you can see very obvious. Getting blocked here, stifled attack. Poor post-punch defense. Good head movement, right? Stepping hook again. Catches him with a good shot here. But still, look at how close he is and still leaping, right? All that effort, all that work right there. Good shot. Now, this is a sequence right after that. He's going to be trying to stop him and end the fight right now, right? Stepping hook. Look at how close he is. Pull, stepping off, blast into this shot. Beautiful. Excellent technique. Man, this is the hardest shot that he's landed. He's landed so many of those leaping hooks, right? But how many of them are like slapping, right? Even though he's making a good connection, right? None of them are like catching the guy like this, right? So I want to say very, very, very dangerous straight left hand. Very, very dangerous. Very good shot. Touches him here, slapping hook, not getting a lot of value. Hard shot here, slapping. But, you know, if the guy's hurt already, miss, effort, high, miss-ish, high effort, slapping shot. Gets him with a good shot, though. Miss, all that effort. Again, very, very high level of effort. Landing some of those shots, miss, miss, miss. Kind of gets him right there. Kind of slapping, but miss. Slapping, but miss. Miss. He's going to really need to land a lot of shots. Now, I personally think they should have stopped it. I don't think that they should have let this guy keep going already. I think he was already in a position where they could have stopped it. But I want to point out that, again, he doesn't augment his attack when he knows he's got the guy hurt to just land cleanly. He doesn't probe. He just goes wild. All right? And this is an all-time great mistake, is not organizing the way that he uses his energy very well. And again, if David Morell is going to lose this fight, I think it's going to be because he gets tired, not necessarily because he gets outboxed. Now, those are the same thing, right? He's going to get outboxed and use his energy and get worn down and then get annihilated on the line if he doesn't stop David Benavidez or can't consistently set traps for him to hurt him. Now, we're going to take a look at some of his traps as well. But again, all the stepping shots, right? All the very obvious ways that he's getting on the line here. Pull, again, missing a lot of this shots, right? And then getting countered here with the left hook, right? And arguably, two-punch combination, you know, getting hurt a little bit, you know? What side of the line is he on? Again, stepping with that hook, 3. Boom. Got him. What side of the line is he on? Post-punch defense. But again, all that effort, right? All that effort. Now, we're going to get to this fight. This is a very, very, very important clip here as he's chasing this guy, coming forward, pendulum, right? Just pendulums in front of a guy. Do you guys remember the time that Errol Spence did that one time in front of Terrence Crawford, and then we never heard from Errol Spence again? Whack. Do you guys remember that time that Bektemir was signed to fight Kovalev, and then I did a film study on my Patreon that said that Kovalev was going to annihilate him because he pendulums onto the line with a naked pendulum, and Kovalev is really good at timing that. That fight wound up being canceled. He fought Gabriel Rosado instead, did this exact same thing against Gabriel Rosado, and then Gabriel Rosado knocked him out in a fight that he was winning. Gabriel Rosado was losing the fight, but he made one mistake. Now, again, this is the move that if you do it in front of a low-level guy, right, a low-level guy is not going to be seeing you pendulum and knowing how to take advantage of it, right? But a high-level guy has seen this move thousands of times. Whack. David Benavidez has seen this move thousands of times. I don't think he's going to react as well as the very, 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 very well-schooled Eidos Urbaslinelli, whatever his name is. I don't think he's going to respond to the move as well as Eidos does here. But this is a move that may play a very, very, very big, have a very big impact. Don't worry about that video. Very, very big impact on the fight. Now, If David Benavidez survives the storm and he doesn't actually get rocked or hurt, this is how David Morell is going to have to fight him, right? So we're going to take a look at his circling here. And again, as he's being stalked here, we can see stepping jab. All right. You can't be bringing your weight and trying to control your opponent when you're the one moving away, trying to rest, right? And you're Bossinelli trying to find a decent way to get on the line here. But again, take a look at all the extra pendulum steps. What is it that David Morell can do here? What is it that he can do from this position? Can he take another stepping shot? Is he going to break into that right hand where he ducks and he launches himself into it, as we saw him get on the line with? Or is he just going to allow your Boston to get on his line and throw a combination? Okay, now that's not something that he can allow David Benavidez to do. Just walk him down and get on the line with him and allow him to throw these punches for free. Now, again, as he's chasing him, he does wind up landing this stepping jab here, which I think is pretty cool. He's penduluming off the line with that shot, walks him into this shot, but slapping a little bit with that shot. Again, the straight left hand from David Morell being a highly effective shot, and the hooks that he throws, while they control a lot of space, and he's able to, don't let a guy smack you with that shot. Don't let him catch you, because he will stun you. He will knock you around a little bit. But it's a high energy move that if he's not really chaining them together, he's not really going to be hurting guys, right? Or hurting a world-class guy like David Benavidez, in theory, right? In theory, okay? Now, on the inside, this is what I expect a lot of the fight to look like. Look at the guard, right? High guard, right? Now, is he going to want to fight David Benavidez here, a guy who can throw just such insane punches? Didn't bring his guard with him there. And again, kind of getting tapped up a little bit, right? Throwing a shot on the inside. We know that David Morell doesn't have very good post-punch defense. Rolls to the front foot here. No guard with his left arm. Very dangerous. Throws a punch, doesn't cross the line, right? Again, throwing a body shot is very dangerous because you don't usually cross the line when you throw a body shot. You just have to be ahead of your opponent, right? Now, all that very high energy stuff from David Morell, right? And then a stepping jab to finish it off there. Now, right at the start of this next round here, chasing him down, stepping jab from David Morell. Very, very dangerous against somebody like David Benavidez, right? If you're forced into boxing him, if you can't knock him out early, right? So again, stepping jab when he's close. Very, very dangerous, okay? Not one of those things. Rear hand, pulling straight back. I want to say decent post-punch defense there with the rear hand controlling. Stepping, moving all the way around. Very, very good straight left hand. Doesn't get him because, again, he doesn't have a way to be sneaky to get on the line, right? He's always snapping before he throws his punches, and his first snap is not usually his punch. Now, again, what happens when he steps in with his jab right here? He gets countered. David Benavidez can do that. David Benavidez has a crazy fast straight right hand. The cost of business for him throwing this punch, if he's forced to control space while circling, is very, very, very high. Okay? Again, I don't think it's going to be a good strategy for David Morell to use all his energy blitzing David Benavidez, because his post-punch defense here is very bad. He exerts himself, uses a ton of energy jumping on the line to throw his ones, his threes, and his 3-2s and his 1-2s. And then he has poor post-punch defense. But he's going to have to find a way to control space and not allow David Benavidez to do what Eidos did in that round or in that sequence, and just throw punches at him, right? Stepping jab again, 1-2. Throwing the shot, trying to pivot on the front foot. Very, very, very dangerous move there, escaping here. And then what does he do? Penduluming here into a very predictable 2 here, right? Again, very, very obvious movement there. Good combination. I do like that he follows it up. But if he's doing that and he's following it up and it winds up being a common timing, again, it's just a pendulum step in front of a guy who's a professional fighter, David Benavidez, very dangerous. He's going to have a very difficult time circling and controlling space and not throwing combinations, not falling deeper into the pit that he's already going to be in um, with the lack of energy, right? Because all the ways that he controls space are like stepping punches. Now, Eidos throws a rear hand and shifts forward, puts a little pressure on him. He pivots on the front foot, catches him here with this uppercut. Again, pivoting on the front foot like this, so like a naked pivot right in front of your opponent when you're on the line with him. You can't do that. This is not a move that you're allowed to do for free in front of your opponent, unless you're really far away from your opponent, right? Now, stepping jab. Again, he comes out of the front foot pivot, all-time great mistake, into a stepping jab, all-time great flaw, right? Pivoting on the front foot, gets controlled, right? And again, what's going to happen to him if he's not allowed to just break into that pendulum two, or that stepping jab, or that stepping hook? He just shells up. This is not a place that he can reliably be against somebody like David Benavidez, who can throw so many uppercuts. We can see that his guard sucks. He just gets smacked right around the guard right there. We've seen him get smacked around the other guard. Good block right there. Good block, right? But just allowing a guy like David Benavidez to sit on his line and throw tons of punches, because David Morell, when he does use energy, again, very predictable right there, is he now trying to start tying up after throwing one little punch, right? Again, trying to take that step and get onto the line. He gets the punch, right? Not a hard punch. He's just trying to control space because he's tired. But this is how he controls space, right? Is throwing these big bombs. And if he winds up, stepping jab, again, controlling space, stepping jab, 1-2. Okay? And again, these are the only moves that David Morell can do when he's on the outside, right? Again, just like we saw in the We Fight How We Train video, so many of those moves are very, very similar, right? Breaking into this move, making it very obvious. Again, he used all that energy to explode and snap onto Eidos' line, but Eidos saw it coming a mile away. He got touched a little bit, right? But not with the hard part of the punch, right? Again, very, very predictable. And again, here, stepping jab, I want to point out, he does get him with a good one here, breaks into that really well off the pendulum, really, really good shot, and then tries to do a follow-up shot again. Again, you can see him rocking and then break down into this shot here, telegraphing it, showing the move off, trying to get closer with the lead foot dominance because he can't just let that shot go. Now, if you guys want to learn how to do all this stuff that I'm giving these guys critiques for, check out the Fouts Boxing Academy. You'll learn how to avoid all these mistakes. You'll learn all the correct drills, all the correct patterns. Don't waste your time with coaches like Coach Anthony and Tom Youngcallo, who can't teach you how to do any of this stuff. But again, stepping jab to control space, right? He looks like he's showing off and showboating, but I want to promise you that he's doing his best. These are the only moves that he has available to him. Breaking into this shot again. Boom. Telegraphing it. Combination counter, right? Pivoting on the front foot. All these things are going to be huge areas for David Benavidez to score, and they're just big flaws in general. All right, as we wind down the film study here again, this is the beginning of the round. Is this where he wants to wind up being against David Benavidez at the beginning of the round? Combination comes, stepping jab to counter, gets countered again, pivot on the front foot, gets countered. Again, this is the beginning of the round. There's no reason he should be in this position already, right? Lunging onto his line with these big, big shots. Lunging onto the line with the big body shot, front foot, try to tie up. Again, just not a very savvy way to get onto somebody's line, right? One of those things that's going to maybe cost him some punches. Now, again, breaking into this position, penduluming. Again, he can't control space with any other way. If he's not hurting David Benavidez, right, this is all very dangerous. Stepping shots, lunging, multiple shots from the front foot position right there, going back to circle. Again, lots and lots and lots of flaws there. Boom. Shifting forward. Now, this is a very, very, very possible outcome or sequence here. Just allowing him to get on the line, shift forward, and throw hooks to the body, hooks to the head. And this is what's going to happen if David Morell winds up getting tired because of his defense, right? If he doesn't wind up being able to hurt David Benavidez early and knock him around, he's going to wind up in a position where his defense is going to be exposed, his lack of boxing. And I don't want to say his lack of boxing like, oh, blah, blah, blah. He's very talented. He's very fast. He's very athletic. And he can just dance and jump and, Muhammad Ali his ass around the ring. But here's the thing. How many times did you ever see Muhammad Ali do that shit for more than 3 rounds? Because he gets tired, because it's exhausting, because it's hard to do. You can't maintain it. You have to control your opponent in between each beat and leash them and conserve energy and set traps. And his traps are very obvious when he's boxing, when he doesn't get to be the guy going first, when he doesn't get to be that dangerous puncher, right? He falls up. And now, at any point, he's still going to be dangerous. He can still wind up landing hard shots, right? Knocking you around, land a couple shots in a row. Now, he's not particularly fast, right? His hands move quick, if he catches you off guard, but he doesn't have very quick combinations where it's difficult to interact with them. So I don't think that, I really don't think he's going to be able to stop David Benavidez. He may be able to hurt him. Maybe David Benavidez has been hurt, but here's the thing. The boxing portion of this that David Morell lacks, Demetrius Andrade is much better at. Demetrius Andrade is much more dangerous, and David Benavidez did a really good job of nullifying that when he was nullifying it and eating the shots when he wasn't. And I don't think that David Morell is a harder puncher shot for shot than Demetrius Andrade. I don't think he's faster than Demetrius Andrade. And I don't know that he would beat Demetrius Andrade. Demetrius Andrade, while he has a lot of flaws, front foot pivoting, he fights, Tank looks like he's modeled off of him, or they've modeled each other or themselves off of Pernell Whitaker quite a bit with that very, very, very bad front foot pivot. But Demetrius Andrade is an incredibly dangerous fighter. Incredibly dangerous. Now, that's because he's a good striker. And again, I'm just going to plug it one more time. Check out the Fouts Boxing Combat System if you guys want to learn how to weaponize your best punch. And if you just want to learn how to throw your best punch, you want to learn the power punching techniques, there's a power punching seminar that I kind of give. Some athletic kid, he'd done like a little bit of jiu-jitsu. He'd been an athlete, football, track, and teaching him how to punch. So he was pretty strong. He got through a lot of the lesson. It's like a 40-minute lesson. I teach him step by step how to do A, B, C, D, this, go from here to here to here to here. You can see his progression in the video. And then there's another boxing lesson, striking lesson after that, but guaranteed to teach you how punching power really works. Okay. But yeah, anyway, see you guys.